What happens when a cartoon crosses every line and somehow gets even funnier for it? For over 2 decades, South Park has turned controversy into an art form, dropping scenes so wild that the internet couldn't stop talking. From censored swear words to banned episodes, South Park didn't just make people laugh, it made history by blowing up online. These are the South Park moments that didn't just make headlines, they broke the internet. It all started back in 2001 when the show aired It Hits the Fan. The concept was simple, yet revolutionary. Say the word shit on basic cable 162 times, and they didn't even try to hide it. Each time the word was said, a glowing on-screen counter ticked up like a time bomb. Viewers couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was the kind of television moment where you sat frozen, wondering if someone had hacked the network feed. The next morning, newspapers and TV critics were calling it the day censorship died. Parents groups were furious. The FCC went into panic mode, and fans flooded message boards celebrating that a cartoon had just outsmarted cable television. The episode became legendary not just for its audacity, but for the way it changed TV language rules forever. South Park had turned a dirty word into a cultural statement, and it worked. Then, in 2006, South Park decided to pick a fight with one of the biggest movie stars on the planet, Tom Cruise. The episode Trapped in the Closet mocked Scientology with the kind of bluntness that no other show would dare. The infamous scene of Cruise literally locking himself in a closet while everyone outside begged him to come out turned into an instant meme factory. The phrase, "Tom Cruise is in the closet," exploded online. Late night hosts ran with it, YouTubers made remixes, and within days it became one of the most searched jokes on the internet. But when Comedy Central suddenly pulled the episode from reruns after Cruise allegedly complained, the controversy only got bigger. Fans accused the network of bowing to celebrity power. The more they tried to hide it, the more people wanted to see it. That's the irony of South Park. Censoring it only ever makes it louder. Then came Cartoon Wars, a 2-part saga that took aim at another animated giant, Family Guy. Trey Parker and Matt Stone used the storyline to mock Family Guy's random joke structure, but underneath the humor was something much deeper. The episode tackled real-world debates about free speech, religion, and fear. When Comedy Central refused to air a depiction of the Prophet Muhammad, fans saw it as a betrayal of the very thing South Park stood for. The censored black screen with the words "Comedy Central has refused to broadcast an image of Muhammad" became a viral symbol overnight. Blogs, forums, and news outlets exploded with arguments about whether the network should have aired it. Parker and Stone were hailed as heroes for daring to challenge both the media and the networks themselves. It was more than an episode. It was a cultural event. One of the show's most beloved viral moments came from Make Love, Not Warcraft, the legendary 2006 episode where the boys get hopelessly addicted to World of Warcraft. Watching Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny slowly transform into greasy, overweight, sleep-deprived gamers was both hilarious and terrifyingly accurate. The image of Cartman sitting in front of his computer, surrounded by junk food, yelling "Mom, bathroom," became an instant internet classic. The line, "How do you kill that which has no life?" echoed across gaming communities and message boards for years. Blizzard Entertainment, the creators of World of Warcraft, even called it a love letter to gamers. And they weren't wrong. It was both a parody and a tribute, perfectly balancing mockery and admiration. Then came one of the fastest television turnarounds ever seen. In 2008, less than 24 hours after Barack Obama's presidential victory, South Park released About Last Night. No one believed it was possible. An entire episode animated, written, and produced overnight. But Trey Parker and Matt Stone did it, blending real-life footage of Obama's acceptance speech with a wild Ocean's 11-style heist plot. The internet went wild. People couldn't believe the speed and precision of the satire. Twitter was flooded with disbelief, with fans asking, how did they even make this so fast? It was proof that South Park wasn't just outrageous. It was a technical marvel that could capture history before the news cycle even cooled. Of course, few moments in the show's history caused as much online chaos as the Fish Sticks episode in 2009. The joke was so simple that it almost sounded like a children's riddle. Do you like fish sticks? Then you're a gay fish, but the target made it unforgettable. When Kanye West appeared in the episode, portrayed as a humorless narcissist who couldn't understand the joke, the internet exploded. Kanye's cartoon meltdown, shouting, "I'm a genius, I'm not a gay fish," then became one of the most quoted lines in South Park history. Memes, GIFs, and parody songs flooded YouTube and social media. Even years later, people were still calling Kanye a gay fish, much to his frustration. The episode became the ultimate example of how South Park could take one simple punchline and turn it into a global phenomenon. But South Park isn't just about crude humor, it's also about shockingly dark storytelling. Scott Tenorman Must Die proved that the show could be as brilliant as it was brutal. In the episode, Cartman plots revenge on an older kid who sold him pubes for $10. What starts as a petty prank spirals into a horrifying twist, with Cartman secretly feeding Scott chili made from his own parents. The final reveal left viewers stunned. It was equal parts horrifying and genius. The moment that defined Cartman as one of television's most twisted characters. Online, fans called it the point of no return for the series. Forums erupted with discussions, essays, and even academic breakdowns of the episode's dark brilliance. To this day, it's still ranked as one of the greatest and most disturbing episodes of any animated show ever made. By 2010, South Park had become so bold that it was now being censored in real life. The show's 200th and 201st episodes were meant to be a massive celebration, bringing back nearly every celebrity and character the show had ever mocked. But when Parker and Stone once again included the Prophet Muhammad, Comedy Central censored the entire ending, bleeping out entire sections of dialogue. The censorship itself became the story. Fans shared leaked versions online, debated free speech, and accused the network of giving in to fear. The internet was ablaze with outrage, and even people who had never watched South Park before were now talking about it. The show had started a real-world conversation about censorship, proving that a cartoon could shake the foundations of free expression. Not every viral moment was about shock value. You're Getting Old took a completely different turn. In one of the show's most emotional scenes, Stan walks through town hearing everything as crap, while Fleetwood Mac's Landslide plays. For once, South Park wasn't making people laugh, it was making them feel something real. Fans flooded forums with theories that the show was ending, while Trey Parker later admitted it reflected their own burnout. It was a moment of quiet heartbreak that reminded everyone how human the creators really were. Then came The F Word, a 2009 episode that took on political correctness long before it became mainstream. By redefining the word to mean annoying bikers, South Park forced viewers to confront how language evolves. Some called it genius, others called it offensive, but everyone was talking about it. Before all that, there was Cartman Gets an Anal Probe, the crude, chaotic pilot that started everything. With its paper cutouts, alien abductions, and foul-mouthed kids, it was unlike anything on TV. When early clips hit internet forums in the late 90s, it became a cult hit before the series even aired. That one bizarre scene launched a comedy revolution, and who could forget Randy Marsh's meltdown, screaming, "I thought this was America," after a Little League brawl. The clip became one of the internet's most reused reaction memes. The perfect response to any injustice. Ridiculous, over the top, and timelessly South Park. In 2016, South Park broke the internet again with Member Berries. Those tiny talking berries whispering "Member Star Wars" perfectly mocked nostalgia culture. The phrase, "Oh, I member," spread across social media, turning a simple gag into a viral phenomenon. Even in recent years, the show hasn't slowed down. During the pandemic special turned chaos into comedy gold. Randy Marsh proudly selling pandemic special weed while the world fell apart became an instant meme. It proved that even after 2 decades, South Park still knew exactly how to capture the moment. These scenes prove that South Park doesn't just push buttons, it smashes them. Every time the show goes too far, it somehow gets even smarter. From shocking twists to emotional truths, Trey Parker and Matt Stone have turned outrage into art. Because when South Park breaks the internet, it isn't just comedy, it's history.